and welcome to another segment of That's Odd TV. This is where we talk about the quirky, odd, unusual, different kind of things. I'm Lynn Garthwaite, and this is my co-host, Nadia Giordana. So, today, what odd thing are we going to talk about?
Well, Lynn, I'm glad to be here today. First of all, we're going to have fun. We're talking about odd awards from around the world. And there are some that, one or two I think I've heard of as we did our research, probably you too. But then there are some that are just so off the wall.
That's right.
So let's talk about some odd awards.
Well,
you start.
And you know, people are familiar with the movie A Christmas Tale, A Christmas Story, where the guy gets his major award that he's so proud of, the dad in the story, and it's represented by that lamp of a lady's leg. But that's fiction. These are real awards, and these are some odd ones. Most people have heard of the Darwin Awards, but it's worth mentioning here because it is pretty odd, and it's for award for people, and it's awarded posthumously, and that word is very important because of the way the award is. It's for people who have put themselves in such perilous situations because of stupidity, because of machoism, whatever it happens to be. And according to the Darwin people, they award them this because it takes them out of the gene pool. It does not spread their genes to the next generation because they have taken care of that, you know, the survival of the fittest kind of thing. So these are people who do not survive long enough, supposedly, to pass on those genes.
So they actually have to be killed.
Well, there was one caveat. It could be just sterilization that happens. It's the same
about
point.
The gene pool.
Same point, right. So I picked out one that just happened just this year in 2019. It was in Texas. Two young men who thought they had a really great idea. They were on a bridge, a drawbridge. The drawbridges, you know, were lifted up into the stop position, and they thought this is a good chance for them to show off their great driving skills, perhaps. So one of them got out of the car. He lifted the safety gate that was preventing cars from going through. Got back in the car. The driver backed up quite a ways, revved the engine, and put the pedal to the metal. And they took off up this ramp and immediately went over and plunged right into the river. They thought they were going to jump, did not. A couple hours later, the car with the bodies inside were retrieved. Not the best idea, not a Mensa moment for these two, but typical of the Darwin Awards, the kind of things where people will put their head into you know, a live lion's mouth. You know, what were they thinking? That's the Darwin Award, and that just happened this year.
Well, and I happened to look at the Darwin Awards, and I read about one the list is so long.
I know, sadly.
The list of links and their big stories
right.
is so long for people who have won or lost this award. And my eye caught one where there was a fellow, he was a poacher. He was probably in Africa. He was an animal poacher who ended up getting killed by an elephant and eaten by the lions.
Okay. Did not take care to see his surroundings properly?
First of all, yeah, not properly evaluating this illegal thing that he's going to be doing to begin with. And then ending up with that kind of a fate.
So in that case, the poaching got the death penalty.
Yeah.
And in fact, all the award winners got the death penalty, basically. So
it makes you want to cry.
I know.
On the one hand,
they'll never know they got the award because they are awarded posthumously. What do you have?
I have, and this is kind of funny, the Bad Sex in Fiction Award.
Okay.
And you being a writer, and I being a writer, I've never tried to write a sex scene. Have you ever tried to do that?
No.
Would you ever try to do that?
No, it'd be the kind where it's kind of a fade to black. They, you know, get into bed and then fade to black.
I think about that too. Draw the shades, fade to black. Yeah, I've thought about it myself, and I really can't imagine that if I did try to do something like that, it would go really bad really fast.
You might win that award.
I could win that award, but I won't. But apparently it's the most dreaded literary prize in Britain.
Oh, okay.
And it's given out by the British Magazine Literary Review. And the award, the trophy itself, depicts a naked woman draped over an open book. Here you go right there. That fits into another set of awards, I think. But it really has an honorable aim. It's aimed at discouraging the tasteless depiction of sex in literature.
Okay.
So did you ever read 50 Shades of Grey?
No, I avoided that one.
I didn't either. It's on my list just because people say it's so bad. Maybe that would, I don't know if that's gotten that award or not, but it's way at the bottom of my list. I don't know that.
Well, and I heard that one was just plain poorly written altogether,
all the way
not
around.
just the sex scenes. So.
I get a kick out of poorly written things once in a while just for the fun of it.
Yep.
Just for the fun of it, to learn what not to do.
A little bit of humor.
But so anyway, and I think the first time they gave that award out, it was to Melvin Bragg for his novel A Time to Dance. So put that on your reading list.
Put that up. Want to see what's really bad as far as sex scenes? That's interesting. They should do it for movies too.
Yeah.
There's some that are.
Well, there is. They do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Razzies.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I found one called the Foot in Mouth Award, which I thought was hysterical. And as it sounds like, it's presented to the person every year who makes the most confounding statements. And you'll recognize one of the names, but one of the first ones went to a guy named Ted Dexter. And it was about his England cricket team. So this is an international award. And the statement he made that was so confounding was this: maybe we are in the wrong sign. Maybe Venus is in the wrong juxtaposition with something else. I don't know. So, one of those just like roll your eyes kind of things. But here, Alicia Silverstone, we all know that name, she won the award for her comment about her movie Clueless. She said, "I think that Clueless was very deep. I think it was deep in a way that it was very light. I think lightness has to come from a very deep place if it's true lightness." All right, an award winner, that's pretty good. That's something we know. And interestingly enough, former American President George W. Bush was presented with a Lifetime Achievement Award in this category for so many things.
He had a lot of things. And I think the thing that got me the most was saying, I can't even say it wrong like he does, saying nuclear instead of nuclear.
I know.
You're the President of the United States. Say the word nuclear the way it's supposed to be said.
That one also drove me crazy. I suspect that people tried to correct him all the time.
They must have.
But it was just so ingrained in his brain, nuclear. Yeah. And I still hear it once in a while from other people who should know better. So
not presidents that I know of.
No,
yet,
exactly. So.
Yeah. And also, there's another prize called the Diagram Prize. And that doesn't sound very odd. No. But I think it's associated with a company called, the Diagram Group, which is a corporate company. But anyway, their prize is for Humorous Literary Award for oddball titles to books.
Okay.
And let's see if there was a couple of them in there. Oh, yeah. Here, Living with Crazy Buttocks. Who writes a book like that?
I did not expect that. Okay. It would make me pick up that book.
And how crazy are they? Are they talking to each other? What's going on with Crazy Buttocks? How do you know they're crazy?
We need to get that book. Yeah, that's why they did that. Yep.
The Joy of Chickens.
Okay.
Now, that's not that bad other than chickens. That's just a farm animal. So the Joy of Chickens.
People find joy in all kinds of things.
Oral sadism. Sadism.
Okay.
And what in the world does that even mean?
I don't want to know.
I do
not want to know. I'm not picking up that book.
No, me either. Vegetarian personality.
Oh, okay. That could fit.
I'm not sure why that won that award. What's so odd
maybe
about
just
that? Here's one. Cooking with Pooh.
How do they spell it? P-O-O-H?
P-O-O.
Okay.
So it probably means
maybe it's
Winnie the Pooh or...
Well, his has an H at the end, but maybe it's somebody, and that's their nickname, and that's the...
Well, and isn't that an Asian term? There's poo-poo platter and things like that. So it probably has a completely...
Let's totally hope that.
Yeah, probably does. Bomb-proof your horse. Everybody needs to know how to bomb-proof
That'd be one big Kevlar vest. Yeah.
So I love that one. So those are some of the winning titles,
and
I'm going to be real careful that none of my books fall into a category that would even come close.
Yeah. Check with their list before you do something like that. So, I had one I found called the Ernie Award. It's an Australian one. So the Ernie Award is their version of the did they really say that kind of thing, but it's specifically awarded by women because it's for really crazy things that people have said with regard to women. And you'll see when I give you the example. For example, there was a lawyer named Ben Malik who was defending a taxi driver who was accused of assaulting his passenger. And this lawyer said, the attack would not have happened if the woman had sat in the back seat. I'm not kidding. This was not 1900. This was 2016.
So the fact that she was within arm's reach.
Apparently, was the open door for this man. So he's defending him on that. So another esteemed winner, Mayor Bruce Mackenzie. I think this obviously also in Australia. He pled guilty to assaulting his partner, his significant other. But he was still lobbying to have his name on a women's violence shelter in the city, to have it named after him, in spite of the fact that he pled guilty to this. This was also in the 2000s. So I say,
in modern enough times that they should
know better. Yeah. So I say, enjoy your Ernie, Brucey, because I don't think you're going to get the shelter named after you.
I don't think he's going to get the shelter.
So we were talking about if there was a biggest tipper award. That'd be kind of fun. And in our parlance, it's not what people would think. The biggest tipper award is something, for us, something completely different than what you might be thinking of. So we have a little video to show you what we mean by being the biggest tippers.
Yeah, I think we will award the biggest tipper award to us. Roll that famous tipping footage. Well, welcome back. And we still have a few more oddball awards to talk about.
But that tipping, okay, that was a lot of fun.
I know.
We went to a lot of different places. As you can see from the video, we tipped anything we saw that was big enough or worthwhile tipping. So,
and the bigger, the better.
Sure.
The more public, the better.
Yep.
The more illegal, the better.
That's
Anything we could do to get that tipped over. And as you like to mention, to tell people, absolutely no Photoshop was involved
Totally.
in those images.
Tipping is who we are. So yes, we have a couple more interesting awards. You've got one, I love the title.
We do. Has anyone ever heard of the Stinky Shoe Award?
Not I.
Or, Stinky Shoe Award for the worst odor in a pair of sneakers.
I do not want to win that award.
Can you imagine being on the panel
Right, the
for
judges.
that? How do you get chosen to be on a panel for that? Because I've had a teenager. This gets ugly.
Yeah. So, okay, so you have a choice. You're on a chain gang or you're on the panel to judge the Stinky Shoe Award. I'm not sure where I'd go.
I'm not sure either, but apparently this award began in 1975 as a way to help a local sporting goods store sell shoes, and it grew into a national event by 1988.
Oh, cool.
So, gosh, I don't know if any famous people won the Stinky Shoe Award, but I'll bet you every teenager in the country was a good candidate.
Yeah. Stinky hockey skates would be a good one, too. That's pretty well known. So.
Yeah.
Well, people have senses of humor. I like that. That's good. So I was thinking about, when we're talking about the awards, for people of our age in our TV land audience, they'll remember the Rowan and Martin Laugh-In Show. And they created an award that they called the Flying Fickle Finger of Fate Award. And it was described as recognition for really dubious achievements out there. And it was kind of a generic sort of thing. You could be in any field. But more times than not, they awarded it to somebody who was in politics, whatever. And interestingly, this is almost scary, it's interesting. The very first award that they did, and it was the show in 1968, their opening season, they awarded the Flying Fickle Finger of Fate Award to the United States Congress for the fact that they were unable to do any kind of work on gun control measures. Okay, this was 1968. I didn't do the math how many years ago that was, but it's scary that in that time they were already awarding them for being unable to take care of that, and here we are in 2019, so.
50-some years.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. But that award no longer exists because Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In no longer exists.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be darned.
What else do you have?
Well, before I talk about an odd award, there is a company called
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, there is a company. Well,
There's a company.
There is a company that's Odd Awards.
Oh, okay.
The Odd Awards and Odd Trophies. And they have a website, I'll pop it up. But they'll do anything on a trophy for people.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted
Create
to
your
mention
own.
that. Yeah,
so it
you
could be a
can-
family heritage kind of thing.
Other
or-
people can have fun with that.
Yeah.
But while we were talking earlier, you mentioned something about there being an award for movies. Right. And I said there are. The
Nadia?
Raspberries.
Lynn? Is that
Who's
you
that?
guys?
What?
Chris?
Sorry to interrupt.
it's
Hi,
Chris.
yeah.
It's Chris.
I was
Doing a show
just
here.
passing through the studio, and
What do
I
you
heard
need?
you guys talking about awards. Is that what you guys are talking about
Yeah,
today?
That's it.
Talking
Oh,
about
I love awards, and it got me to thinking. Every year LMCC recognizes a producer or producers who have done an outstanding job of producing programming for the LMCC.
Me.
Nice.
I know. And so the first people I went, no, just kidding, no. So, and then I thought, wait a minute. It's time to give out an award. We love to recognize people who are creative, funny, talented, and extremely odd. And so I thought,
Well,
who
you're
would be
being
perfect
serious
for
about
this?
this.
I am being serious. So I would like to recognize Nadia Giordana and Lynn Garthwaite
What?
as our 2019 LMCC Volunteer Producers of the Year.
Hot dog.
And I just happen to bring awards with me.
Oh,
so here you go, Nadia. Congratulations.
My name is on it.
This
Lynn,
is
here you
so
go.
Cool.
And we spelled it correctly too, I promise.
Nice.
Cue the applause, and
Yay!
congratulations to both
Applause.
of you. Very well deserved. Thank you so much for bringing That's Odd to LMCC. It's a wonderful show. I love working on it, and people love to watch it.
Thank you,
So
Chris.
Thank you
That's
so
cool.
much.
Thanks, Chris.
But now we're doing a show, so
What?
you'll have
You're
to get
still
off.
talking? We're stars.
Yeah, we're running the joint.
Okay, I'll just leave.
Thanks,
Okay.
Chris.
Bye.
Cool. Nadia, we won an award. We won an award, and it's not a posthumous one. It's not for the worst something. So
Or smelliest.
right. I'm putting mine on my mantle.
Oh, boy.
That is so
Yeah,
cool.
I am thrilled. This is nice. Show it again.
Super. Good deal. Producer of the award.
Well, we're cool.
Sure. It's the coolest producer of the award.
The coolest producer.
We can make it
of
what
the
we
award.
want. So
Yeah, and I see a note slipped in here that Chris is going to interview us later, and we'll probably try to slip a little bit of that into the program later on.
nice.
And what else were we doing here now? I totally lost
It's cool
my
to be
train of
recognized
thought.
for something that where it doesn't fit into this was the stupidest thing somebody ever did, or the smelliest, or the raunchiest, or
the
deadliest.
meanest, or any one of those things.
Right.
I had been doing some community TV shows out of my basement and at other studios, and I had an idea for a show. I had Lynn in mind to work with me on it. She came up with the idea of That's Odd, and virtually the whole format of the show, the whole basic idea was Lynn's. And as soon as I heard that, it's like, well, let's do that.
This is Odd Job.
And this is Chaos.
From before the show started, we conceived of the idea of just having a mascot of some kind. I can't remember how we came up with Monkey. Do you remember?
Monkeys are funny.
Monkeys, yeah. You never fail with having a monkey on board. I describe it as we just like to look at the quirky side of life, the odd things that maybe people notice but don't think a lot about.
Like the goofy statues, and that we tip over.
Yep, and I don't remember how
With
that
no
idea
Photoshop
started.
help at all.
None at all, but we really tipped those things and then ran away. When we go around to different places, we went to the Spam Museum. That's quirky, that's odd.
I tend to do some of the odd cooking segments.
Right.
That seems to be more my thing. LMCC Studio is my favorite. It's clean, it's easy to work with. I hope we never lose this in the community.
And it's so important because people are so interesting. People have different backgrounds and different things that they've learned things about, and they can share it with the rest of the community. That's great.
Do it again, do it again.
Where's the bus to Poughkeepsie?
A lot of times when we have an idea for a show, different times, each of us comes up with an idea, but then the other person says, oh, well, then we can do this with that.
Right.
And it just snowballs.
Everything that's odd is in our wheelbarrow.
So I guess we're just about at the end of the program. I will tell you something, besides the tipping clip that we showed you earlier, at the end of the show, we are going to run a montage of, and it fits right into this award subject matter, a montage of some of the best, funniest, most interesting clips, expressions, things that have happened to Lynn and I on the show since it started.
Yep.
In the meantime, this is That's Odd, and we'll see you all next time.
Fabulous guests coming up, and
I was thinking that if we were,
we're doing a live show here. Shoo.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. I don't give dams because I sell dams. Best dams in town, right here. Come and get them. We got them big, we got them small, we got them meatsy, we got the best dams in the neighborhood. You be the first one to come. Come on down. Special deal right now.
Here's looking at you, kid. No, not you. That one. That kid back there. Yeah.
Pickle pop.
Pickle soda.
Oh, soda. We have to say pop when it's pickle.
Minnesotans always say pop, and some other places say soda.
All right. Ooh.
No.
It definitely is pickle. What are you up to, Nadia?
Oh, Lynn, hi, how are you? I'm happy to be here on the show today.
It's a helium moment. Brilliant.
Want a hit?
I'll take a hit. Give me some of that.